Well, ye fucking haw. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with episode 10 of Big City Greens. That's right, we are back after almost a year and a half away. This was one of those occasions where it was very much not intentional. It's just with taking breaks from these shows and everything, it's like, sometimes it can get away from me before I get back to them. I only have time to react to so much. And there's so many shows out there I want to react to. It's sometimes hard to get back to them. But we're finally back with Big City Greens now that we have finished Fallout. And I'm very excited to get back to this. And I think it's a good show to replace Fallout because Fallout, very intense show. Very, I wouldn't say serious, but there's a lot of heavy stuff going on. Not to mention, it's a pretty long episode run. Even though it's only 8 episodes long for the season, each episode was like 45 minutes to an hour, sometimes even over an hour. And so having this series where it's like 11-minute episodes, I think is going to help. Just calm things down for a little. Give us a little bit of a summer break on things. Slow it down a bit. So how's this going to go exactly? Well, there's like 60 episodes in the season, and we've only done 9 prior to now. We're only doing 1 episode today just to kind of get back into it, but we're probably going to be going into multi-episode reactions moving forward. I don't know how many that's going to be. It's probably just going to depend on whatever I'm going to be in the mood for at the time. If I'm in the mood to do 2, I'll do 2. If I want to do 3, I'll do 3, and so on and so forth. We'll just kind of go from there. Sometimes I might be in a good enough mood and have the time to want to do a bunch of them. So maybe I will. I don't know. But for today, like I said, we're just getting back into it, so we're only going to do the 1. We're only going to do episode 10 and kind of go from there. But I am excited because the first 9 episodes I saw this were actually pretty good. Like, it surprised me with how good it was. There's a lot of clever humor in this. There's some good voice actors. I mean, Tio Danny was in it. Danny Trejo. Hearing him in this was fantastic. And he's done quite a few voice acting roles. He's pretty good with that. But I'm definitely excited to see what more kinds of shenanigans are going up to. Because I think a movie just came out for this, didn't it? So this is kind of still doing really well. And I'm definitely excited to see these characters again, especially Gloria. She was always my favorite. Though I do like Tilly as well. Those 2 are probably my 2 favorites. Cricket, I can take or leave. I do enjoy him, but I find him maybe a little annoying at times. The father's pretty cool. The best friend, who's played by Zena Robinson, is pretty cool. I don't remember all the names. Keep that in mind. I believe, though, isn't Gloria voiced by Anna Akana? And as always, I apologize if that's not how you pronounce her last name. But the same voice as, oh my god, what is her name? Amphibia. Sasha. I don't know why I was thinking M, but I was. Maybe I was thinking of Marcy. Maybe that's it. But Sasha from Amphibia. I think it's the same voice actress, right? I think I pointed that out when they did the what was that one special thing? The special video that had Marcy, Gloria, Candace from Phineas and Ferb. It was like a play on, I think, a Descendants song. I can hear it in my head, and Sasha was featured in that too because Marcy had a little thought bubble thing that showed Sasha and Anne, and Sasha actually got a single line, well, a single word, but still. It's like Born to Be Anxious or something like that. It's something like that. You know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. I did a reaction to it. But I think it's Anna Canna, which is always good. And either way, like, the VA did a great job. I just really like the character from what we've gone to, and I have heard that Gloria does like get even better as the series progresses. Like, her character actually gets like really good, I've heard, which is exciting. I haven't been told how. I haven't gotten any spoilers for that. Just saying that her character gets really good, I don't really consider that a spoiler because a lot of times that's subjective. But honestly, like, it still excites me because it's like I just really like her character, and honestly, I can believe that they really go like in depth with her a lot more. So I'm definitely just interested to see what else happens with these characters. This southern hillbilly family living in the big city. Oh, the grandma too. I almost didn't mention her. She's pretty wacky and fun, kind of crazy, but in a very entertaining way. And there's other various side characters here and there. So yeah, I'm excited to see what more we get into with this. Let's just do so. But before we do, I do want to remind you all that we have a lot of great content to check out on this channel. Between Monday and Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions. And on Monday, we also do YouTube, or at least YouTube adjacent reactions. Anything that doesn't quite fit into a full series or movie reaction goes in this slot. Whether it be shorts or specials or mini series that don't have a lot of episodes or even just YouTube videos themselves. That's what this slot is for. And speaking of movie reactions, though, we do have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. I pre-record them during the week, but upload them on the weekend just so that every day has some sort of reaction content going on for it. We also have a couple of Let's Plays on the channel currently. We are playing through Spider-Man 2 and uploading parts to that every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, though do keep in mind that I do pre-record a lot of this in big batches. So, like, we're already, like, twice as far into the game as has been actually posted to the channel. So keep that in mind. But also keep in mind, if you are new to checking out the Spider-Man 2 Let's Play, the first 9 parts do have some audio issues, some sync issues specifically, especially parts 5 through 9. These were my first 2 recording sessions for this, and my first 2 recording sessions doing a capture card Let's Play. Because I've never done that before. I've never done a capture card Let's Play before. That was new to me, and I was just trying to figure things out. So keep in mind that those first 2 parts have some audio issues with the synchronization because of that. I unfortunately wasn't able to fix it, and I didn't even notice until after they were recorded. So, unfortunately, there wasn't much I could do about it. But from parts 10 and on, so most of the Let's Play, everything is all good. No more sync issues. Should be completely fine. It's just those first 9 parts, especially 5 through 9. But we're also playing through Anno Mutationum on Saturdays. This is a donation reward Let's Play from Matthew Vasquez. And yeah, I've been enjoying it so far. Nothing amazing, but I think it's good. And if you want to know how to donate for a future Let's Play as well, I would suggest just checking out a certain video on the channel. Go to the channel search, and type in type in June Double Reward Month PS5, all in the same search. It should take you to the correct video, and it'll tell you everything you need to know about how to donate for a future PS5 Let's Play. But all of that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you have any thoughts, let me know down below. But let's get this going. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction because, yes, we do redirect all of our reactions on this channel. You understand that YouTube's copyright system is pretty shitty, right? So because of that, to just try to avoid any possible issues like channel strikes or, even worse, a channel termination, which I have unfortunately had to deal with before and don't want to deal with again. To avoid that, we push all the reactions off to another site. And I understand. I get that you don't want to have to click all these extra links just to watch the reaction, but it's only one extra link for each video. You just go down in the description below, click the link, and it takes you right to the video. And on the plus side, this does allow me to give you the entire full reaction completely free. Yeah, all of you, every single one of you, no matter what, gets to see the full unedited reaction for free. No paywalls, you don't have to subscribe to Patreon, and you don't even have to sync up your own copy. It's just there in the video. I think that's pretty awesome. Not a lot of reaction channels get away with doing this, and for very valid reasons. There's a lot of especially monetary reasons they can't do this. But I do pride myself on the fact that I am able to do this on the channel, that I am able to give you the full unedited reactions for free. And I hope that you enjoy them as they are because of that. But that being said, after you watch the reaction, come back here to the redirect. Because after fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will not only contain spoilers to the episode, but also just my thoughts on it, my general thoughts on the series, as well as just, like, kind of what I am thinking with the channel and stuff, things related to that. It's always worth checking out, just to be safe, that you never know what I'm going to say in there. So, that all being said, as always, I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and for now, I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So this is going to sound a little weird, and I hope I explain this right, because you know me, I'm bad at explaining shit. Do you understand this feeling? When you're not in a bad mood or anything, you're doing fine, but you watch something that still just lifts your mood in such a degree that it kind of makes you emotional over it. It makes you just feel so happy, so, like, it like, overjoyed, that it just, for some reason, even though you weren't in a bad mood before, you feel almost like you were, because your mood has been raised just that drastically to where you're just in such a better mood after something. Because that's what I'm feeling right now. And if I'm explaining this terribly, I apologize, but I was not in, like, this terrible mood today. But after watching this, it's just like, it's like, I guess a way to put it is like, it wasn't like this cloudy, stormy day, but a little overcast. It's like things are still good. There's still a lot of sunlight. But after watching this, it's like super bright, super clear, just happy day, you know? It's just, maybe it's because it had been almost a year and a half since I watched any of this. Like, again, I haven't really even seen any clips of this since I put this on hold. I haven't really seen any clips. I haven't seen I haven't seen the opening again. I haven't seen any episodes, obviously. But I've been kind of staying away from this and, you know, obviously doing other things, even on my own time. I haven't even seen stuff about this outside of, again, that movie on social media. And maybe that is part of the reason, but coming back to this and seeing it again, and also maybe it's because both of the segments in this episode were actually really good, but this was just like a really emotional reaction for me, like surprisingly so. Like, I brought it up during the reaction, but it's like, it was actually like the first segment was making me start to cry. And I'm even getting emotional now. And while the second segment didn't make me cry as much, I still had a blast with it. The first one, like, I don't even entirely know why it made me cry. It's just like, I'm cheering kind of the entire episode for Gloria to get to see the parade too, because it's kind of always been her dream, but she's always been working and always had to deal with the rush and everything. So when Cricket agrees to take on the entire responsibility because she had done so for him while he was on his break, and she finally gets to see the parade for herself, it's just like, that just got to me. And part of it absolutely is going to be because Gloria is my favorite character, because I have related to her and connected to her, and Anna Canna does a phenomenal voice acting job with her, and I just really like her character and what they've set up for her. So getting that getting that here and getting to see her like actually, have that big happy moment at the end, it's like that that touched me, because it's like I've had moments like that where it's like, oh, I've always wanted to do this, or I've been wanting to do this even just for a long time. And you finally get to do it, and it's great, and it lives up to your expectations, and it's all worth it. Getting to go to the Renaissance Fair for the first time since I was like a baby, pretty much, was an awesome experience. Getting to go to the Detroit Zoo since I was a kid was awesome. These are all things that happened within like the past years and stuff, by the way, just as examples. Going to concerts or getting to go to conventions. Hell, the other year, I went to TrotCon. For the first time. It was kind of this really big deal to me, and it was my first Brony convention in years. And I finally got to go to a Brony convention again. I got to go to TrotCon, which was one of my the TrotCon from like 2015 was like one of my favorite convention experiences of all time. And so finally getting to go to TrotCon again was like this really fucking big deal, and it absolutely lived up to the hype that I built myself up to with it. It was just this massive deal to me, and I think that's why that ending to this first segment really hit me as hard as it did, because it's like I've been there. I have experienced that same emotion. For one reason or another, not being able to do something for a long time despite wanting to, and finally getting to do it and it living up to the hype. Yeah, I understand that. Not to mention the both segments really were really funny. There was a lot of great humor in this. And it's like, for a show that does center around a lot of comedy, that's kind of important. You want your comedic show to be comedic. Don't know what that was. I don't know if you heard that. Someone honked out there. I think a truck passed by, like not like a big like 12-wheeler or something, but like a truck passed by. I think that was that. I don't know what that was about. Anyway, I got distracted there. But it's like, if you have a comedy series or movie or game or yada yada, you want it to be funny. That's kind of the point. And humor is subjective, of course. Humor is extremely subjective. And because of that, obviously, some things will be funny to some people, some will be funny to others, but not everybody's going to find everything funny. Example, a lot of people think Rick and Morty's hilarious. I think it's not. I think it's actually kind of like extremely unfunny. You could say the same about things like South Park or Family Guy. I don't find those funny. Outside of maybe one rare joke once in a while making me chuckle. But that's it. And that's very rare. But shows like that I don't tend to find funny. I find them insulting and honestly garbage. But it's all opinion. It's all subjective. If you like that stuff, if you find it funny, that's great. I'm not going to try to take that away from you. I'm just going to share my opinions. And I'm allowed to. And you're allowed to share yours. And in my opinion here, like, these two segments were really funny. And Big City Greens has been funny in previous episodes, of course. Like, the humor has always actually been a big selling point of this series for me. But this was, like, really funny. And again, maybe it's because it's been a while since I reacted to this last. Maybe it's because some of the stuff I've been reacting to lately has been more serious. Even if it has some humor in it, not like a laugh out loud humor a lot of the time. You know what I mean? Maybe I've just been starved for this kind of humor. This kind of wacky, silly, over the top, but really clever humor. Not to mention the amount of heart in this show, the good lessons. Like the second segment, I knew instantly where I was going. With Bob's, that is his name, right? Is it Bob or Bill? The dad, with his do-it-yourself ideas and everything, and going to obviously the most extreme possible, not even letting someone hold a door open for you or tell you where to find something in a hardware store. It's like, it's obviously taken to a huge extreme. Um, and you know where it's going. You obviously understand that the message of the episode, of the segment, is going to be you have to learn to accept help from others. You have to learn to work with others. And doing things yourself is fine. But sometimes you need to be able to rely on others too. You have to have a good balance with that. And yeah, that was the lesson. But the way it was, the way it was portrayed in this was ridiculously over the top. And it was made funny, but also delivered in a way that, works. Kids who are watching this are going to understand what the message is. And adults who watch this are going to look at this and say, that was clever and funny, and I had a good time with this. Also, the IKEA, jokes in this, oh my god. I know IKEA's not really a hardware store, right? It's like a big box store, I think. I don't know. I've been in IKEA once or maybe twice in my life. But they're known for their Swedish meatballs and hot dogs and stuff. As well as, obviously the furniture and toilet stuff and whatnot. Yeah, I wouldn't really call it a hardware store per se. But either way, it's the obvious jokes are obvious with the umlauts and everything being in Swedish and whatnot. It's that. That's funny. I get the jokes here. I'm actually surprised they didn't make a joke with the meatballs or a food cart. Even just a food cart outside of the store would have been perfect. But I still like the joke, and I love the joke of how it's so massive, because IKEA stores tend to be pretty big. That you're getting lost in, and suddenly there's this survivor who's gone feral, and the skeleton of someone who died getting lost in the store because they wouldn't accept help on where to go, which is total what the fuck. I was not expecting that kind of joke. That is a kind of dark joke. But it's also really fucking funny. It is exceptionally funny to me. Just seeing this person with the disheveled, messed up hair and everything, and in kind of the feral golem pose is so fucking funny to me. The fact that area of the store was so dimly lit, and you have the skeleton and everything of the other person, it's what the fuck? Why? Who thought of that idea? Because whoever did better have gotten a fucking raise for that. That is so fucking good. I'm almost surprised they got away with that. Though, because the thing is, you know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of The Legend of Korra, which is a more older teen-oriented show. It's meant for older teens and young adults, people who grew up with Avatar, right? And this is going to be minor spoilers, I guess, for The Legend of Korra, but the series is well over a decade old at this point, so who gives a shit, right? But if you skip ahead a little bit, a minute or two, if you don't want to be spoiled on Legend of Korra, I guess. So in Legend of Korra, there is continuity from Avatar: The Last Airbender with the inclusion of this spirit library. There's a spirit library in both shows that is guarded by an owl spirit named Wang Shi Tong. And the owl spirit is voiced by Hector Elizondo. I don't think that's really important, but I just want to say it because I sometimes call Wang Shitong Hector Owlizondo because it's fucking hilarious to me, and I love puns like that. Um, but point is, in Avatar: The Last Airbender, when Aang and the group escaped from the library, they were there with a professor. This professor of archaeology, I believe it was, from Ba Sing Se University. He chose to stay in the library in order to engage with all of its, you know, um, uh, why is the word escaping me? Knowledge. To engage with all of its knowledge and continue to read. Legend of Korra takes place like 80 years later, I think it is. And in Legend of Korra, Aang's granddaughter arrives in the spirit library, right? She arrives in the spirit library. She talks to Wang Shitong, and there's one point where it shows the skeleton of the professor from Ba Sing Se University. He not only stayed in that library, but died there, surrounded by books. That is a dark inclusion to that series. And Legend of Korra has a lot of darkness to it. It's actually exceptionally dark. But that always just shocks me thinking about, because it's like, Jesus, that is dark. The first time I saw that, I recognized instantly who that was supposed to be, and I was shocked that they did that. That caught me so off guard. Um, but yeah, it's like that reminded me of that because the skeleton in there and everything, having never left after staying and all. Obviously, the situation is different, the specifics are different, but it reminded me of that, and that also added to the shocking humor of that for me. Um, because I'm a huge Legend of Korra fan. I feel like I've made that clear at times on the channel, but just in case you didn't know. Um, yeah, it's just that part of this second segment for this episode of Big City Arenes, though. Wow, that was good. That was my favorite part of that segment of the do it yourself segment. My favorite part of the parade day segment was obviously Gloria getting to see the parade. Like, that just got me super emotional. And as I've always said, if a show or a movie can make me cry, it's won me over. Or a game, I guess, or anything really. If a piece of media makes me cry, it's won me over, because that means I've become emotionally attached to it to some degree. And usually it's like something like this where it's like, oh, this meant something to me. Or sometimes it's because it's like I just feel so bad for the characters because they're in a terrible situation and I'm crying because of that. And it's like that, those kind of moments are a different emotion, but still. um yeah, this is just like, this, I needed this. Again, it's not even that I've been like in a bad place or anything with my mental health lately. I've been reacting to some great shows, having a blast with a lot of things, but it's like it's just one of those occasions where I can't fully and adequately explain it enough. But it's like, even despite not being in a bad place lately, it's just this lifted my mood so goddamn much that it almost kind of feels like comparatively I was in a bad place. Um, I, I can't explain why, but I needed this, and it was an absolute like big pleasure moment for me that just caught me so off guard there. I'm so glad I'm back with this show. I really wish it didn't take almost a year and a half to get back to, but I'm glad that I am back to it. And yeah, we're gonna get through as much of this as we can. The only time I'll put it on hold again is if I feel like it could possibly get to a point where burnout could possibly happen. You know, the typical reasons we put things on hold. But for the time being, we're definitely going to give it our all to get through as much of this and to enjoy it as we can. Like I said at the beginning of the reaction, though, I had made that mistake on how the episodes are laid out. It is episode by episode, and there's just 2 segments in every episode. It's not like each segment is its own episode. It's a confusing thing with a lot of animated series. It's always hard to say how they're going to do it. Because, like with Adventure Time, for example, each 11-minute thing is its own episode. Even there's 2 episodes per 22-minute time slot. So it's like, you take that into account. It's different than this, where it's like 1 episode, just 2 segments of the same episode. I really wish a lot of these cartoons would kind of get that in order and figure out how to do that. The fact that it's still going on with modern stuff is wild to me. But yeah, so this series, this is episode 10. Both of these are episode 10. So there's about 30 episodes in this season, not 60. And they are 22-minute episodes. Like I said, though, in the pre-thoughts, I am going to try to do as much as I can each week, just whatever I'm feeling up to. This week, we only did 1 because I'm getting back into it and all. But yeah, so sometimes we might do 1, sometimes we might do 2. Maybe I'll even get crazy and do 3 or 4 sometimes. Just it's going to depend on a lot of factors. When I start recording, how much I'm in the mood to get to, etc., etc. Because I believe our last reaction before I took the break was 7 through 9. I think it was 3 episodes. So yeah, sometimes we might do like just a higher amount like that. But I would love to hear what you thought of these 2 segments in episode 10 here. I don't know if you're gonna have like the same kind of reaction as me to that, but let me know if you enjoyed them as much as I did, or if you maybe had some issues with them or whatnot. Let me know. I'm genuinely curious to hear your honest opinions on that. I'm just so glad to be back with this. I hope you're glad for these reactions to be back as well. And for now, yeah, before we sign off, I do want to quickly remind you all, because I almost forgot about this, that we have a lot of great content to check out on the channel. Even though it's like, again, this one just like caught me kind of off guard with how well the humor did in this. We do have a lot of other great shows between Monday and Friday. And on Mondays, we also do YouTube, or at least YouTube adjacent reactions. Shorts, specials, mini-series that just don't have a lot of episodes, or just actual YouTube videos. Those all go in that slot. Anything that doesn't quite fit in to a normal series or movie reaction. And speaking of movies, we have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. They're pre-recorded during the week, but uploaded on the weekend so that every day has some sort of reaction content going on for it. We also do Spider-Man 2 on this channel, one of our couple of Let's Plays that we are currently going through. Spider-Man 2 is every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, though I do want to let you know that I do pre-record these in pretty large batches. So I've got like double the amount recorded almost of what's actually posted to the channel currently. So keep that in mind as you continue to watch. Also keep in mind that this was my first Let's Play that I did for the PS5 that I had been doing with a capture card. Because of that, the first 9 parts, especially parts 5 through 9, do have some audio issues. Mostly audio syncing issues. And because of that, those issues just, yeah, they just ended up being a problem that I couldn't fix, unfortunately. Because I didn't even notice them until after it was all recorded. But it is fixed as of part 10. So once you reach part 10, everything from that point on will be all good in terms of the audio sync. It was just those first 9 parts, like I said, especially parts 5 through 9, because those were my first 2 recording segments of the Let's Play. So just wanted to let you know about that to make sure you understood what was going on there. We're also playing through Anno Mutationum on Saturdays. This is a donation reward Let's Play for Matthew Vasquez. And if you want to know how to donate for a future PS5 Let's Play, go to the channel, do a channel search, and in one search, a single search, type in June Double Reward Month PS5. All one search. It should take you right to the video that will tell you everything you need to know about how to donate for future PS5 Let's Plays. Or you can just ask me in the comments, go on the Discord and private message me, or message me on some other social media. There's always links to those, and whatever is the most comfortable for you, whatever works best for you, go with that. But either way, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, please leave your thoughts on this one down in the comments below. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.